North. Alright lads, and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport Carnage. I've got to start off by saying if I start to sound like I'm getting bored of myself, it's because it's 8 AM and I haven't been to sleep, been working very hard. So anyway, on with the race. Guys flipping to the right, jokers to the left of me, clowns to the right. I can't remember how that song goes. It doesn't matter, does it? Just have to stand on the brakes there to avoid that Ferrari. So already we've gone from dead last to dead 6th. Well, now down to dead 7th because I've received a little bit of contact. It's going to send me wide. Turn it into a little drift session on the way out of the corner. We've got Corvette Stingray poking his nose up the left, and I was kind of going to drive off anyway. Now this was my first ever race in a S2000 on this game, so still getting used to it. Just getting to grips with a feel of the, you know, the understeer, the oversteer. If the brakes are good, if the brakes are rubbish, you know, just getting used to it all. I get on the brakes a teeny bit late, and that curb just really unsettles the car. But I don't really think I actually lost much time out of that. So, here comes the rain. Time for the rain. So everything I've just learnt about the car in that first and only lap I've done in this car, got to forget about that and, well, kind of learn again, because braking points are going to be double, understeer is going to be more of a thing. I mean, I know Forza isn't a massively simulated game, but it does a bit. So this guy's going to go off, and that's going to allow me to close onto the back of Captain Silly Pants. That was a bit of a silly line though, he is correct. Am I going to have a look up the inside? No, I'm not. It's definitely not an overtaking corner, this. I'm just going to try and be patient and wait for him to make a mistake. It's normally the only thing you can really do when you're stuck behind someone on a tight track. He's made his mistake already. See, it didn't take too long. So we're going to capitalise on the mistake of Silly Pants here, and we're going to jump to the end of the race because absolutely nothing else happened. Just going to stay in 5th. Cross the line. Pretty poor lap time. 4 seconds off the pace. I'm sitting at 1.109 in a Mustang. Now, if the clip at the very beginning of this video, well, that's going to happen here. I completely wasn't paying attention to this guy being stopped right in front of me. That has kind of given me an insight to how pile-ups do actually happen on the first, well, as soon as the whistle goes. What do you say? As soon as the lights go green, as soon as the whistle goes, it's not a game of football, is it? I need a nap. So, coming into turn 2 here. We're in 18th. Let's see what we can do about gaining some positions. And the answer is going to be not a lot, because this Ferrari goes to cut the corner completely. And I don't actually know how to describe that. I'm completely lost for words. It was like the other car just carried on driving like it wasn't even touching me. I don't know, like I didn't exist. I don't know how that happened. How did that happen? So we're back down into 21st. The Ferrari who has caused all that is just ahead of me, and we've got a 550 who's got in my way as well. I do like a good Maranello though, or is it Maranello? I think it's Maranello, isn't it? Don't know. I've got to get one of those cars though. So up into 20th, starting lap number 2, just taking turn 1 on lap number 2, up into 19th. Now this car was pretty good on the brakes, I think anyway. This was only the second race I did in it. So we've got a couple of guys off. Not really getting much racing done here. I'm just kind of watching people drive off the track. And I'm going to go up the inside of this fella. And of course he's going to pump me off, isn't he? Sketchiest rejoin I've ever done. But luckily we didn't ram anyone. This car was pretty good in a straight line as well. Wasn't too bad at all. This was an all-round pretty good car, you know. And I don't think the tune was actually by Raceboy. I think Raceboy's tune was still like 20 PI below the height it could have been. Guy drove off to the left there. Nothing to see here. So yeah, I didn't take the Raceboy tune. I took, I have no idea what his name was. I'd never heard of him before. I really should start writing these down and then start giving these guys some credit, shouldn't I? So, 17th position, halfway through the race. This isn't going well, is it? But, you know, after all the mishaps that I've had, you know, I'm not far off. There's quite a big pack of cars up here. It looks like pretty much, well, maybe 12 cars are just around this corner. I can't remember how this ended up, so I can't pretend like it's going to be good or bad. We've got a very slow car here. I was worried he was a rammer, but wasn't really much I could do. I wasn't going to start driving at his speed. I wasn't really sure on my braking point here. I think I go a bit deep this time, didn't I? Oh no, it actually kind of looks like well, that was quite a nice line, I reckon. Wasn't too bad at all. I was a bit worried though about that ominous indicator thing, you know, the little markers at the bottom that show you how far. Proximity arrow, that's it. God, I'm so slow today. So yeah, I saw one of them flashing past and I was worried I was going to get rammed, but we are all good, and we're on the back of 14th now. After everything, after getting a piggyback on lap number 1 and then doing 3 or 4 front flips, so it's just, you know, it could be going worse, I suppose. I almost quit actually after that. Yeah, it's this game where whenever there's a glitch that doesn't favour me, it's not a very good time, is it? You know, much better when a glitch does favour you. So I wasn't really sure what this guy was doing, and I wasn't really sure whether I was like gaining time on him or not, because of the crappy netcode or his crappy internet. I don't know, one or the other. Maybe he lived in Lapland. I don't know. I'd imagine Santa would probably have quite good internet actually, wouldn't he? He's got to receive, but I assume kids send off their Christmas list by email nowadays. So, what am I talking about? I'm going on about absolute rubbish. So every time I come into turn 1 in this race, I think about what I'm saying, and it's an absolute load of rubbish, isn't it? So, up into 13th, let's get some real talk in here. Let's pretend I'm one of those YMTV race commentators. No, I can't do what they do. They literally sound excited. They sound like they could be excited by... Well, I was about to say when sliced bread got invented, but, you know, that would have been pretty exciting, actually. Oh, God, I'm doing it again, guys. I'm going on about rubbish. So, we are on lap number 5 here. Thank God. That means there is going to be one more race for me to bring you. Now, I was getting the run on that guy. Oh, I still am. Well, that shut me up, innit? I'm going to stay semi-defensive. Well, I'm not. I'm just going to start wiggling all over the road like an absolute madman. I was worried about him collecting me there. And this car did oversteer a bit in the high revs of 3rd gear when going around the corner. Nothing too tragic though, you know, it's quite easy to tame. So yeah, the terrible position there. Terrible lap time as well, to be honest. But, you know, there was a fair bit of action, so I thought I'd deliver it to you, the viewers at home. So what do we have here? I mean, P3, and falling down rapidly. Silverstone Short. Silverstone National, actually, I think that's what it's called. Well, actually, no, I don't think it is. You know what, I can't even remember what this layout's called. It's got that weird... Oh no, I have seen this layout in Assetto Corsa, maybe? I don't know, I can't remember. So we're taking a bit of contact. We started in P2, but my car didn't really have the launch. And, well, I'm just not a very good driver, am I? So, well, we'll see what we can do, but P1 and 2 have already left me behind. So I'm going to see what I could do about P3 at least. See what I can do about Rivardo. I do run a little bit wide there. I'm just going to have to chuck one up the inside here, really, and I make the most out of my good brakes. My car's strong point was the brakes, really, I think. So, yeah, on this track there's only, what, you only have to brake 3 times on the whole, wait, 1, 2, yeah, you have to brake like 4 times a lap, ish. Well, I bet it's like more in it. But yeah, there's not much braking to be done on this whole track, so having good brakes isn't really, it shouldn't really be a priority. Good handling car around here, and go for a bit of top end. That's what I'd recommend. So we have made it into P3, and well, we jumped to the end of the race and we extended the gap a fair bit. Lost by, well, 10 seconds to the guy in first position. Lap time was off again, but I was the only one setting a clean lap, so I'll take that. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry for my absolute rubbish that's been coming out of my mouth, but please subscribe if you did for some reason like it. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.